Shit.
No, you said I was full of shit.
And she looked, she says, "You're not full of shit, Jerry, are you?"
What are you going to say to her?
We used to go on painting trips. I would sleep with her in one bed. She would have a couple scotch in the evening, and she would turn on her left side. That's how you'd find her in the morning. She didn't stir once. So that was good. Then she had lots of stories about the time she was with Lundy and Louie and Terry and all the things they would pull, and that's when all the stories will come out after she had a couple drinks.
Yeah, she'd say, well, I've had a couple of scotches, so I can say this now.
She was, by the way, she was very, very, very shy. Nobody really knew it. She was very nervous at her openings, and always felt like a little girl. Why are all these people here in her honor? And she wasn't at ease. I think that's why she would have the couple scotch. That would put her a little bit more at ease with handling her adoring public. She was very calm at the end. We used to see her on Mondays, and she was kind of sorry for her daughter. She said she's just sitting here waiting for me to die, and I'm dying a little bit every day. But there was a matter of factness about it. She was British. So I think she was at peace.
English food, English food's like, boy, it's not going to do you any good. She'd say, oh no, it's all in the genes. My grandmother lived to, she was 108.
Yeah.
So she didn't care.
Yeah, she would take charge of the dinners. We would paint late, and she decided, don't worry, you guys just paint. And it was a very bad choice. Because she had deep fried zucchini and spare ribs. She would buy the deli there.
Your favorite was a broccoli salad, raw broccoli salad.
Yeah.
And it's like she'd never really done that before, and so we were going to have a potluck, and she might have done this 10 times before, and she said, well, I think I'll do a broccoli salad. Would that be okay? And we're going, well, yeah, I'm sure anything goes. What would you have to say about the work when you saw it?
The work was at Kerwin Gallery, and I didn't know her then yet, and I just saw these vibrant, colorful, joyous paintings, and I always make a little exercise trying to guess whether it's a man or a woman and their age, and I associated them with a much younger person just because of the energy in them.
Very colorful. I remember once she had a gallery in San Francisco called Maxwell's Gallery, and I went in and I found a few of them, and the lady in charge let me go behind and see them in storage. And she said, I used to have a lot more Pam Glover paintings, but they were just overpowering everything. I had to take some down because they were so colorful. They were just joyous. It's very, very colorful. She started the painting on a blue background, and she said that she did that so she wouldn't have to paint the sky. I did that for a long time. A lot of people still do it. I think she has.
Landy did it, so I think she got it from him.
So she's got about 2 or 3 generations of painters who paint on a blue background, who paint very colorfully, just like her.
I've always liked her somewhat pointillistic style of tree.
there was always a gorgeous tree in bloom, and it was very pointillistic, you know, all the tiny little dots that would make up the tree. At every painting, if I saw one of those, I absolutely knew it was a Pam Glover. She had great style.
She used to say, paint trees as if they were ballerinas.
As if they were what?
As if they were ballerinas.
Dancing.
I was riding in a car one time with Pam, and we were headed to a birthday party for Jerry Turner, and we were going to give him some awards. We all made up some awards, and I was going to give him an award from France and give him a Legion of Honor, and we decided that we should have the Queen of England give Jerry an award, and Pam was in the car, and she was supposed to be the Queen of England, and she said, I can't do it. I can't do it. Now I understand. You said that she was shy.
You remember who was the queen?
Yes, and so it winds up that the Queen of England was Bill Rushton, and we made a little crown for him, and I think we even had a cape. And he went up on a little bit of a stage at Jerry's studio in Marin County, on the steps there, and so we gave Jerry all his awards, and Pam just stayed in the background that time.
Around the early 90s, Nikki and I and Pam and some of the others in the Outsiders, Bill Rushton, banded together into a group of the Outsiders and had a lot of shows together. And I think that was when we really got to know Pam better. We used to go out painting with her and stay overnight places. And, it was always a joy, to be with Pam. She was classically eccentric as far as my summation of the English. Her eccentricity was just so much fun. We'd have so much fun with her, and she was always doing the unexpected. She never, we always go, God, here we go, you know.
I was able to go to her house and watch her being interviewed, and it was before the Epperson show, and she just, all through the interview, just said how much she hoped she could go to the show, because she was ill, very ill then, and she just was wanting to go to the show so badly. And of course she made it to the show, and everybody was very happy to see her, and she did beautifully. And then I saw her again during the Gold Figure show, just about 10 days before she passed on. And I was taking some photos there for a documentary, and she came in the back door. Two friends wheeled her in. She was very frail, and it was just a wondrous moment to see her. She went around the gallery twice, and I would hear her say, "Is that Nikki's? Is that Nikki's?" In a small voice. And then she, "Is that Jerry's?" And I wonder if her sight was going. But it was just, tears came to your eyes, because it was so beautiful, her passion for painting and wanting to be with the painters and being so involved right up to the end. And she was determined to stick with it right up to the end, and she did. So it is a beautiful woman, a very strong, passionate woman at what she did.
Until the end, you called her and asked how you're doing and how you're feeling. She'd always turn the conversation on you, about whatever she knew about your life and your children and so forth. And she'd always end, "Let's go painting. Let's go painting." Yeah. Since the last some years, it's like we could carry our our equipment up a hill, or well, I remember you and Bill and her and me were there, and you two just took off, which meant I had to stay with Pam. And she would settle her little chair, and she had this hat with these little dinghies hanging, remember, around. And she would say, "It's okay, I have 4 paintings here. This way, and this way, and this way, and this way." And she did. She stayed the whole day in one spot and painting what's in front of her. And it was partially because she was frail for a long time and carrying the stuff. She didn't want to be reliant on others too much, and she didn't want to carry her equipment very far. But I remember when we did the first catalog from the Triton show, and her you remember how we had the little phrases, each one of us, and she said, "I just take my paints out and I start painting, and I don't know what happened or where did I go, where I went, and all of a sudden the painting is there." The same idea that she was not in the way, that she was not leading it, that she had genuine joy in being outside and just being connected to what's in front of her. She used to say, I don't always like my paintings. I paint like a girl. I paint like a girl," she says. She liked the big, heavy shit. It's okay. I sell them like hotcakes.
She had a style that she had a style that stayed with her for a long time. She loved the colors that she used. She had these really, for me, they were weird colors, like
Girl color.
coral was one of them, and flesh was another, and
Lavender.
and she used those colors so effectively. And when she painted something, she was always painting from here, and she would make up just the essence of the scene without letting it tell her what to do. And that's the kind of stuff that we try to teach now, is to use your own sensibilities about it, use your own color sense, and your own make up your own story. And she did that all the way through her life. I mean, you could always tell a Pam Glover. It was just like that had that certain essence of Pam in it. And I think people, as I used to say, well, at least I said it once, Pam had many imitators, but no equals.
I remember she said to Jerry, "Well, you just wait until your students paint better than you."
That's right.
I went to the Epperson show, and there's a color that's been on my palette. It's a kind of a reddish orange, and I never really knew what to do with it. And I looked at her painting, particularly this one painting, and there was that color. She used it on a building, like on the shadow side of a building, and she used it on kind of some branches of a tree that were in shadow, and it suddenly dawned on me how I could use that color, and I've been using it since. It was inspiring me to sort of explore the colors more. And
Thank you all of us, coming and joining Pam, and we send her our bon voyage, and I'm sure the stuff that she has up there to paint is going to be very exciting. I'm sure she's going to use some of the same colors and her own very private sensitivities. So Pam, it's been really nice, been a nice time with you, and I'd like to send all of our love to you. And if you come back, please tell us who you're going to be, because I want to talk to you more. I haven't had enough time in this life with you. So I want to leave Pam one word: love and Hugh. Thanks.
One of the first women to really break into this plein air painting, and
Yeah.
what was that like?
Oh, I loved it because, I can pee out behind a bush and it doesn't worry me at all. And we'd lead Sierra Club trips into the mountains. Then I decided, okay, we'll do a teenage trip. Well, that was a disaster. They all smoked marijuana. They broke all the rules that they weren't allowed to skinny dip, but they all just went in skinny dipping. And then the food was, they got in line for the food. And as soon as they got their plate full of food, they moved into the second line, ready for the next lot. So, to keep them fed was something else.
Yeah. Were you painting outside at that time?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I wish I had.
You probably were thinking of painting.
Went to beautiful places, and I wish I had. But, my husband was more into the backpacking, and I was the one to carry the load behind. Yeah.
I'm glad we did.
I'm glad you did too, and it's good to see
Good
you.
to see you.
You look so beautiful.
Well, thank you.
I'd like to send all of our love to you.